This video critique is for Riley Mulliken. Riley, first of all, I want to say thank you for your patience and waiting for this video critique to come to you. It was pretty cool watching your video, and I've got a couple of pieces of feedback for you here. So the first thing that I noticed right away is that you are very clear and articulate. And so I wrote down in all capital letters here, nice job. It's very easy to understand, which means that you are capable and have shown that you can clearly communicate. That is fantastic. Also, something that I was very impressed by was your ability to develop your argument. So when you spoke about why sustainability is so important, you talked about a few examples, and that really solidified your point. So you first talked about disarray in our environment, and you used an example from Cape Town, and then you talk about the hot temperatures in France, and you also talk about the Amazon's wildfires. I say it is always, always, always a good practice to use examples because it lends credibility to your argument overall. Second, then, you bring up the social issues, which I think is extremely important as well, and you return to those same examples, and you make it very relatable that way. Using examples like laws on hot water usage, health and well-being of the country, and then displacing millions. Forgive me, I have some chicken scratches here as I'm trying to read through exactly what I was very impressed by. But your use of examples shows authority, and I want you to know that. It shows that you know what you're talking about, and I was very, very impressed by that. One thing that I would suggest for improvement is don't read from the script as much. What I did see from you is that it looked like you just kind of had something outside of the line of sight of the camera, much like I have here. I have my notes right in front of me here. But you looked at those quite frequently. And so I would suggest for future iterations of projects for this class or for other classes that you maybe practice a few times before hitting the record button so that it doesn't look like you are depending on a script as much. Glancing through my notes here, another piece of feedback that I would have for you, as you saw from the syllabus, a part of this assignment was to kind of pretend that you had the 5 people that you interviewed in the room with you and address the individual and the group dynamics more. So that's one piece that I would say could stand improvement with your delivery of your message. You did well in articulating your argument, but it's almost like you forgot that there was supposed to be an audience watching you. And so a few suggestions that I have for that include using the names of the people that you interviewed. So you interviewed Cody, Adam, Jenny, Kimberly, and Melanie. And so knowing those people the way that you do, I'm assuming that you know them in kind of a social setting, they might be your friends or family members, bringing them into the conversation and engaging them was a part of the assignment as well. And you don't get docked off points for that, by the way, because in the syllabus you'll also see that this is just meant to be an attempt, and this is your first go at it. But I would have said something to the effect of, you know, Kimberly, I noticed that one of your values might be to maintain a certain level at a certain resource, just based on your own definition of sustainability. And so then I would use Kimberly and tie that back to the examples that you give of disarray in our environment and the social issues. That might help engage Kimberly a little bit more and grab her passion about sustainability. The same can be said for Cody, who mentioned clean air, clean water, and certainly spoke about the future a little bit more too. And so you can tie Cody directly into those social issues and maybe kind of engage his passion there, in particular when you spoke about laws on water usage after the example you gave with Cape Town. So the same for Adam and Jenny and Melanie, excuse me. One of Melanie's values, at least from what it sounded as I watched her video, was on family and how she's trying to reduce waste herself. And so again, drawing that into your message delivery will help these 5 people that you've known as friends or family members or casually to really engage in the topic of sustainability a little bit more. So that is all that I have for feedback for you. In general, as you'll see from the grade book, that your grade will be a 20 out of 20 because this was just intended to be practice and we're developing these skills along the way. But had this actually been a grade, I would have given you a 5 out of 5 for your argument. It was very clear and it flowed nicely. You stayed within the 5-minute time period, so that would have given you a 5 out of 5 for that one. And then I would have given you a 0 out of 10 on engaging the audience, the group, and the individual dynamic, just because I didn't quite see it in your video there. So feel free to send me an email message with questions about this feedback if you have any questions after you watch this. But I do wish you well, and it's great to meet you via camera here. Bye, Riley.